The reason why I want this is to say that people will think I'm serious today. So when globalization came about, people thought globalization would help open up third world nations. They thought the phenomenon of globalization would help poor farmers in third world nations, in interior villages, to have more access to bigger markets. But what they now discovered was that instead of these poor farmers to become wealthy, it's as if the bigger nations became bigger as a result of globalization, and the poorer ones became poorer. The poor man has everything he needs to survive. He has everything he needs for his next level. And this point has been proven to be true. Hi. So I just came back from church, and for the sake of consistency, I just had to do this video. So it doesn't seem like I'm not consistent with what I set out to do. I doubt when next I'll be able to record if I don't record now, because I'll be out for Afro Gospel Groove shortly. Yeah, so that's why I want to do this now. So probably by the time you'll be watching this, I'll be grooving to the gospel. So let's start. I want to read something from the Bible. By the ways, I attend Covenant Nation, Senior Pastor Pojo Yemade. There's much food in the tillage of the poor. That's Proverbs 13:23. So let's go there. Proverbs 13:23. Don't forget, we've been talking talking generally on the loop of poverty. Proverbs 13:23. The fallow ground of the poor would yield much food, but it is swept away through injustice. So let me use a simpler translation. This is English Standard Version. Proverbs 13:23. I don't want. Let's do an NIV. Proverbs 13:23. An unplowed field produces food for the poor, but injustice sweeps it away. Wow. KJV, let's see. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that is destroyed for want of judgment. So what I want us to get from this is that there's food in the tillage of the poor. There's much food in the tillage of the poor, in the house of the poor man. This is to say that the poor man needs everything. Sorry, not needs. The poor man has everything he needs to survive. He has everything he needs for his next level. And this point has been proven to be true by economics. And there's this there's this economics from Peru that did a research on third world nations, and this is what he discovered. So just give me few minutes. Let me get that. Not minutes, just few seconds. Let me Let me search it out. The mystery. I think that book is in my laptop. Let me get my laptop. I hope you're following my discussion. You know, when globalization came about, people thought globalization would help open up third world nations. They thought the phenomenon of globalization would help poor farmers in third world nations, in interior villages, to have more access to bigger markets. But what they now discovered was that instead of these poor farmers to become wealthy, it's as if the bigger nations became bigger as a result of globalization, and the poorer ones became poorer. The other day I posted something on my status, the Matthew effect, that by virtue of you having initial advantages, you can win a race from the fact that you started with disadvantages. Okay. And Malcolm Gladwell proved that to be true in his book Outliers. The reason why I wore this is to say that people will think I'm serious today. So yeah, the book is up. Excuse me. The Mystery of Capital. Why capitalism triumphs in the West and fails everywhere else. But that's not my major concern. This is my major concern. So this is it. If the United States were to hike its foreign aid budget to the level recommended by the United Nations, which is 0.7% of national income, it will take the richest country on earth more than 150 years to transfer to the world's poor resources equal to those they already possess. This is a research by what? By an economics from Peru. This is to say that the poor already have what they require for their next level. But what happens is that they tend to hold these assets in defective forms. They tend to hold these assets because all these eight countries, because they want to, when all these we are the world something, when they want to do all this their aid campaign, they tend to stress the helplessness of third world nations. And then this third world nation, see, the media is powerful. The media can tell you that you are blind, and you start believing that you're actually blind. When you actually can see, it is glaring to you that you can see, but the media will so twist it that you start believing that you are blind. So this eight companies like Oxfam, Red Cross, UNESCO, they tend to emphasize the helplessness of third world nations, to the point that third world nations now start believing that they have nothing in themselves, that they are insufficient to do anything. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that you have something. You are self-sufficient. You have what you need for your next level. You have what you need for your next level. But our problem is that we tend to hold these assets in defective forms.